ACA. So MAGA Mike Johnson said no more votes. We're not going to do anything to help you here. Everyone who has increased premiums, you got a text message, you got an email, you got a phone call that your premium was due because on Jan 1, if it's not paid, you don't have health insurance. So everyone has paid now or will pay.
Yeah.
Their new premium, and people are going to be hurting.
Yeah. Millions of people are going to lose healthcare entirely, and millions more, most of us, will have increased premiums.
The stat is 2 million people, they think, they being
like OMB.
The academic groups also that do this. 2 million will lose their health insurance next year, and then over the next decade, an additional 3 to 4 million, potentially 4 million will lose their health care, all going uninsured.
And to be clear, that is a result of changes to the ACA. That does not include all the people that lose their health care as a result of the Medicaid cuts from earlier this year, which is more like it's over 10 million.
It makes me sick to my stomach. It really does. So many millions of Americans cannot afford this. Do I think ACA needs reform? I do, for sure. Like, it shouldn't be dependent on subsidies to exist to make it affordable. That in and of itself is a problem. But the fact that they couldn't come to some sort of solution, we're talking about health savings accounts, but that's not how it works. It's not like you're going to have $1 million in your health savings account if you get diagnosed with cancer and need chemotherapy.
No, 100%. The moral of the story here is that Democrats went all in on healthcare. They shut down the government over these premium increases, and everyone who it matters to knows it. The vast majority of people know that Democrats were organized around this issue and that it's really the only thing that Democrats have been talking about for 60 plus days, 90 days at this point. Republicans have been painted into a corner such that they're saying they're going to spend the first 6 months of 2026 on healthcare as an issue because people are so outraged.
Republicans are saying this?
Republicans are saying this, that they want to focus on healthcare next year. Will they? Probably not. But it shows that the pressure has been applied to a degree that we haven't really seen in Trump 2.0 to force their hand on an issue like this, because typically they're dictating the terms. They decide when we want to talk about immigration or public safety or crime or deploying the National Guard or all of these things. They're setting the agenda. And this was an opportunity for Democrats to set the agenda. And they've done that. Yeah. The more that people talk about healthcare, the worse Trump's approval rating, the worse the approval rating of Republicans in Congress, and the more people trust Democrats on the issue. And so if we can make it a primary issue for 2026, it's actually going to be both policy-wise really important in order to win back control and do something about healthcare costs, but also a huge political win.
Yeah, well, that's the $1 million question. Can Democrats and the other groups in the space effectively take the reins on this narrative and continuously blame Republicans for what they have done to the American people as regards to healthcare? It's we are so effective at losing narrative wars and battles. So I just implore people also, if you are like me on ACA and your premium has gone up, talk about it to your friends, family, neighbors, use your social media, and rail your elected officials to do something about it. One more thing I want to make on the midterms. Did you see the headline that heating costs are expected to rise 9.2% this year?
Insane.
Nationwide.
Expected meaning in 2026.
Over this next year.
Wow.
So the average household is expected to pay $1,000.
And that's because AI.
Energy costs. Yeah.
They're eating up all the electricity.
The data centers. And we're paying it. We're footing the bill.
Right. Which is fucked up.
Just add it to the list. Add it to the list of things that are going to cost more money when the federal minimum wage hasn't gone up in decades?
400 years since Vietnam.
What is the minimum wage, the federal minimum wage?
$7.25.
$7.20. You can't even buy a bottled water at the airport for that. And the fact that people like Elon Musk exist on planet Earth living in this country and someone is still getting paid $7.25 an hour.
No, I want more people in office who mentally think about who mentally translate prices into hours. I no longer make an hourly wage.
Yeah.
But I used to do that,
Yeah,
of
same.
course, right? When I was paid hourly, when I got a bill for a dinner, when I went out
You're
with
like,
my
that's
friends,
7 hours
I
of
literally
labor.
immediately would translate it to be like, how long do I have to work to pay for this?
Yes.
Like, we have no one in office.
Thank you.
Very, very few people in office who get that mental game that people have to play in order to pay their bills. And I think that we need more, right? The average net worth of a member of Congress is over $1 million.
Well, this is my other hill I'll die on next year, which has bipartisan support, by the way, which is
stock ban.
yes.
Yeah.
I want to just break this down for people. You might hear people talking about banned stock trading, etc. Imagine knowing what's going to happen in the stock market so that you can place money on that stock and make more money. That is illegal for every other individual in the United States of America. Martha Stewart went to jail for it
Right.
for years. Martha Stewart. Nancy,
America's national treasure, Martha
America's
Stewart.
original progressive trad wife, okay? It should piss everyone off so much that elected members of Congress who work for you, who get paid with your taxpayer dollars, can also enrich themselves based on insider information that they may receive from private committee hearings, from the Secretary of the Treasury, from world events that they might know about before you know about them. The older I get, the more pissed off it makes me because I understand the world economy and finances better.
I agree. I have a hot take on this.
What?
I am pro a ban on stock trading, but I think some of the legislation that's been proposed around it is bad.
Okay,
and
that's fair.
my nuanced take on it is the current bill, I think that has the most steam, bans members of Congress and their families, not just from trading, but from owning. And the reason that we should care a little bit about this is studies show, put on my nerd glasses, studies show that when you decrease pay for legislators, including at the state level, mostly at the state level, you get more extreme legislators, because the only people willing to run for and work for no money are ideological zealots. They're people who are either are independently wealthy and don't need to get paid, or two, are so extreme in their beliefs that it's more important to them than money, which is like maybe concerning in certain regards.
Vote.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Those kinds of people.
Yeah.
And so there's some evidence that paying legislators a fair wage or even incentivizes more normal people to run for it because it's a good job rather than people running because it's a horrible job, but you'll do it for the power that you get as a result. And so all of that to say, like, I think that stock trading could, if written poorly, if the ban is done poorly, could block some pretty normal people from running. If there is a route in the legislation for someone to move their assets into a blind trust, I'm down. I'm game. I think if the legislation requires someone to liquidate their assets in order to assume office, we are locking some normal people out of serving because they would take too big of a financial hit if they were entering office when the market's down.
That I agree with.
Great. We agree.
We agree. In the way that we agree, we agree.